Hi, Kwadwo. Welcome to Furniture Success Podcast.
Hello, Ahmet. Thank you so much. I am excited to be on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm super duper excited. I do have tons of questions for you. So let's get started. Could you tell us about yourself?
Okay. Yes. I'm a furniture maker based in Asheville, North Carolina, which is in the mountains of North Carolina. And um, I my business is called Crafted Glory, and we craft handmade furniture that is inspired by my West African heritage as well as Scandinavian design. I've been woodworking for about 10 years, and I started my business in 2017 on a small scale, making small items such as wooden jewelry, cutting boards, types of things. Over
Mhm,
time, organically, it developed into larger and larger pieces, um, coffee tables, and
mhm.
more complexity, more intricacy. Fast forward to today, we're making large pieces. For example, right behind me is a almost 60 by 60 coffee table that's about 400 pounds, solid oak, that we're going to ship to Idaho. So that's the scale we're doing now. And there's a lot of
Wow.
story in between. I'm sure we're going to go into it, but that's the
Mhm.
high level of it.
Yeah. So let's get started with the name. Why the name Crafted Glory?
Crafted Glory came about one evening. I was sitting on my couch. I had recently read a book by C.S. Lewis. He
Mhm,
is an author and a theologian from, he lived in the 60s, I believe it was. And he wrote a book that really inspired me, talking about seeing beauty in everything around us. And so as I thought deeply about what it is I'm doing, I realized that my the work I do is reflective of my creator, and I want to create work that honors God and that points to the fact that there's a higher purpose to the work that I do with my hands. So
mhm.
that's what Crafted Glory is about. And ultimately, we want to make work that is truly glorious and helps people to see something deeper in the art that we create.
Wow. Yeah, it's very meaningful. And like um I checked your website. I really liked it. For a typical, custom furniture maker, generally website is the worst part of their business, in general. But your website was really good. I really enjoyed your website, and I saw something, on your website, like you were on national televisions and you were talking about success during COVID. It was like
Mhm.
late 2021, I guess. And you
Yeah.
said you increased your revenue like 1400%,
Mhm.
during that time. So my question is how was like you've been in this business for a long time. So how was it before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID? And could you walk through us from beginning, especially for the revenue, perspective?
Okay. Yes. So that was an NBC Nightly News interview. They came out to my studio. At that time, I was in my small 300 square foot garage, and they brought their TV crew to come and interview, which was incredible.
Yeah.
And they were interested in how COVID was affecting various businesses, and in particular, a small business like mine.
Mhm.
Many people will remember that during COVID, an interesting dynamic happened. Initially, there was a lot of uh, fear about what's going to happen, and markets were unsure about what's going to happen. But really quickly, it became evident that people were focusing a lot of attention on home.
Mhm.
And I and probably most other people would have never imagined that there would be this kind of effect from COVID, that people would be spending a lot of money on their homes, people be moving and buying new homes. The whole home housing market had a big shift. And for industry like mine, what that meant was that there was a spike in demand that I was not expecting and most people were not. So that's where that increase in sales and revenue came about. Now, mind you, prior to that, I was not a big operation, so it's not like I went from half a million in sales to several hundred millions in sales. I was a
Mhm.
small operation. Prior to that, I was doing small scale
Mhm.
items, coffee boards, and small items. And I'd recently transitioned to the larger pieces. But when
Mhm.
COVID hit, suddenly I was getting inquiries multiple times a day for coffee tables, dining tables, and, that's how that increase happened. So, it
Mhm.
was very surprising, very interesting, very exciting. I will say, though, that didn't leverage that moment like I should have in retrospect. That could have
Mhm.
really been a big launching moment, but the reason why was, my pricing wasn't really where it should be at that time.
Mhm.
But all of it is was it for a reason. I'm grateful for that experience. I learned a lot. It was very stressful, but we are stronger as a result of that.
Mhm. I I see. And most probably you will change your pricing, right? And how do you price custom work with confidence now, like when you compare the, lessons learned?
Yes. So getting pricing wrong is a very painful lesson to learn because when you price something incorrectly, it just snowballs into many other issues. If, for example, if I price this table behind me incorrectly, I have to remember that I still need to ship it. Shipping is not
Mhm.
cheap for something this big. If anything goes wrong, I don't have any breathing room to cover those issues. It just snowballs into a lot of issues. So you need to get pricing right from the beginning. And the way that we approach it, my wife has been really instrumental in helping us to think through this well. In addition to a lot of resources that we've read and listened to, we have a pricing model inspired by Donald Miller. He's a business coach and
Mhm.
advisor, where we have different buckets that we separate our revenue into. We have an operations bucket, a tax bucket, so that we make sure that we have money for
Oh,
taxes when those come due.
you're talking about profit first mentality, right?
Well,
Profit first. It's kind of like that, or
related. So there are 2
yeah.
guys. There's the profit first guy, I think his name's Michael, and then there's Donald Miller, and they have similar models. They both use buckets.
Uh-huh.
But we found Donald Miller first and then the
Mhm.
profit first guy afterwards.
Okay,
Both
I see.
very yeah, very great. I highly recommend. So we have those different buckets. There are 5 different buckets, and that helps us. So when we get a sale, we
Mhm.
separate the revenue into those buckets just to make sure that taxes are being paid. We have enough for operations. We are getting paid. There's enough to pay our employee, and there's money
Mhm.
going into profit. And that has been so instrumental, so helpful for us because prior to that, an order would come, the money hits the bank, and it's, "Oh, there's money. There's money to spend." And I'm not thinking that there's there's a limit. I can't just spend it all the way down on new equipment, on materials. I need to make sure that I'm apportioning the right amounts to each category. Um, and then to get the way that we get the number right from the beginning of how much the piece
Mhm.
should cost, we think about how long is it going to take. The challenge with that is sometimes or most times the custom piece I've never made before. So how can I know how long it's going to take? I
Yep.
will look at a similar piece. Maybe I've done something that's somewhat similar. I know how much wood it's going to take, so I can calculate the material cost. I always include a percentage extra for material waste. Um,
Yep.
and then I consider roughly how much time it's going to take. I consider that I have someone else in my studio working with me, our part-time employee, and all of that goes into our calculation for how much to charge.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's a great shift. Like, because you are allocating like owner's pay, taxes,
Exactly.
profit, in yeah, and I can say like marketing first is a good idea as well. Like you should,
Mhm.
maybe allocate some percentage for your marketing as well. And I'm gonna ask you like which marketing channel brings the best clients for your business at this
That's a
time?
great question because I really appreciate your, note there about allocating for marketing because previously, spending on marketing wasn't something that I understood to be a necessity. It seemed like just something a nice to do, but
Mhm,
I understand these days in the past couple of years that you absolutely need to spend in marketing. It needs to be a baseline. Always need to be marketing while you're also executing on orders. So, for most of the history of my business, the marketing spend has been on Etsy.
mhm.
We've used Etsy as our, platform for sales
Mhm.
primarily.
Yep.
Many people have different experiences with it, but ours has been very positive, and we've gotten a lot of our leads from it, initial sales through Etsy, and then, the relationship continues thereafter. And
Mhm.
often, interior designers will find us through Etsy. Then we can continue the
Wow.
relationship from there. Yeah. Well, there's one interior designer that we connected with about 3 years ago, made a coffee table for her, and the relationship has continued since then. A few weeks ago, a client of hers reached out to us needing, uh, a few pieces that amounted to quite a lucrative order, and
Wow.
so that's just an example of how the relationship will start on Etsy, but then
Mhm.
afterwards, we nurture a direct relationship with that person. So we spend on Etsy ads currently, but we are actively working on owning more of our own marketing.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I did invest in a website upgrade, which you alluded to how you like it. So we're pleased with how that turned out. So that came out of the marketing spend.
Mhm.
We went to a big conference in New York, one of the largest ones, ICFF, in May. So
Mhm. Mhm.
that was a big spend in order to acquire new clients, and we're seeing that slowly pay off, some relationships that were built through that. So
Mhm.
we see ourselves investing more in marketing in terms of opportunities to connect with people, directly, in person. With furniture sales, I believe that that never grows old. Just connecting with someone as an individual. So any opportunity that affords us to do that, going to trade shows, art shows,
Mhm.
conferences, we want to take advantage of that.
Mhm. Mhm. And how often do you attend those, industry events? Like every
We the
quarter, every year, like every month?
Our goal Yeah, our goal is at least every quarter, and we've
Mhm.
done that so far this year. We went to one that was local in our
Mhm.
area. We went to this one in New York in the second quarter. We're
Mhm.
planning for 2 more. We're in talks with one organizer out in, Los Angeles, for a trade fair out there, and we
Mhm.
hope that that works out. That would be in Q4. So
Mhm.
potentially that one and one more this year.
Mhm. Mhm. So you can think about hypermarket as well. It's in North Carolina, but
Mhm.
it's very close to you. I don't know why
It
you
is.
didn't mention about it, but
W w
do
we
you attend
w
High Point or?
we attended it as, just attendees 2 times,
Mhm.
just to scope
Mhm.
it out to see if it's a place we'd want to exhibit. We
Mhm,
decided against exhibiting there based on feedback we got from various furniture makers.
mhm,
It's more it seems to me and others that it caters more to the large scale manufacturers, um, and less so to the small individual makers, small shops like mine.
mhm,
However, we do have a connection with a large manufacturer who has um they show at High Point Market every twice a year, every single market. They have
mhm.
a large, I think it's like over 10,000 square feet sh uh, place, and they've offered to allow us to have some of our pieces in their space. So that is something we would go for rather than, having our own, just being able to leverage their existing network and have our pieces in their space.
I see. Yeah. That's good. And there's one in Las Vegas, in winter and summer times, and I think it's ongoing right now, in Las
Ah,
Vegas.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, just and there's one big in Atlanta as well. It's
Mhm.
also big. You may think of it. Yep.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and like, I just wanna talk about a little bit storytelling. How does storytelling convert followers to buyers? Because um I really impressed with your social media presence and also your website. It was like um kind of high resolution, very professional videos out there. And you're not speaking, but you're doing storytelling. So does it help your business? Like,
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I really appreciate that you shared this because that's encouraging for me. That's what we want do do storytelling.
mhm,
And we have seen it pay off and it inspires us to do more. We recently had a local um, connection with a new client that's local who found us through Reddit, interestingly, and landed on our website. And he told us that we just went into the rabbit hole on your website. It just went through all of it, and we
mhm,
were in love. And so they commissioned us to make a bench for them, and we're about to make a console for them as well. And it all was because of the story. They fell in love with our story.
mhm,
On social media, um, we consistently see a lot of engagement as we post what's going on in the studio. And that just tells me that people are engaged with what we make. Just this past weekend, someone told me that seeing you post online is the highlight of my day. I always look forward to seeing your status update that you've posted something, and I
mhm.
quickly go there and check it out. And that was encouraging to me. It makes me want to do more. Storytelling is very powerful.
Yeah. Wow. And you mentioned about like shipping large pieces. Do you have a
Mhm.
playbook for that? Like, how do you ship your large pieces?
Yeah, great question.
Like
That
the
has been
like
a
the
learning
one behind
process.
you? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, this is our, biggest coffee table so far. And, initially, the shipping process was I thought that it was going to be prohibitive for my business, and, um, I currently use a few different services. So, currently, I use uh, a white glove carrier, a couple white glove carriers, and based on who's available and who's going to the region that I'm shipping to, I will connect with those various, carriers. I'd say so far
Mhm,
I've used maybe about 10 different carriers. I've also used, some of the commercial carriers like FedEx,
mhm,
um, which is can be beneficial in terms of speed. They can get a piece to anywhere in the lower states, lower
Mhm.
48 states in a matter of, at most 5 business days, but typically within 3 business days, which is great.
Yeah.
But it the furniture doesn't get the amount of care that, it would get with a white glove carrier. Um, FedEx is mostly good, but again, it's their big commercial carrier. But when it's a van, a white glove van, they're going to care for my furniture very well. So that's basically
Mhm.
it. Um, I use UShip to connect with those independent carriers. And after
Mhm.
connecting with them, then I continue the relationship from there. Yeah, that's UShip, the letter U and ship.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's a great,
Yeah.
great platform. Mhm.
Mhm. And like, we talk about like how your business thrive, but I know like it was not sunny blue sky all the time, and you had some challenges. And like, could you give us some examples, like the most challenging part of your business, maybe the most challenging thing that happened to you, um, in last 10 years, maybe like, can you give us some examples, like the days that you would love to, give up?
Oh, I enjoy talking about this because it can be a great inspiration for others and help people to avoid some of the pitfalls that I've encountered and inspire
Mhm.
those who might be in the midst of it, who might be ready to give up. So, for me,
Mhm.
one of the incidents that stands out in my mind, and there are many, but this one is when I acquired this property that we are located in currently. It
Mhm.
came about because we were making furniture out of my 300 square foot garage, making large pieces. They couldn't fit anymore in our space, and we're having to keep pieces in the driveway, cover them with tarps, keep pieces in the house, and it was leading to damage and issues. So finally,
Mhm.
I said, "It's time. I have to get another property." I came across this property a day after it got listed, and it was perfect. It looked perfect to me. So one thing led to another, acquired the property. But after a few days, I sat down in here, looked around, and just thought, "Oh no, what have I gotten myself into? This is a big undertaking. I'm in over my head. This is a whole nother mortgage. I still have a mortgage on with my home, and I have
Mhm.
this property, and this property is about 45 minutes away from my house." I just felt overwhelmed. Like, how am I going to make this work and manage it? And I remember this is really a vulnerable thing for me to share, but my parents came to visit, and my father was with me. I had recently gotten married to my wife, and she had
Mhm.
moved here from Ghana. And that day, I was more overwhelmed than I had ever felt. And my dad could see something was going on, so he pulled me to the side, and I just broke down. I broke down and just started crying on my dad's shoulder. I'd never, as a grown man, had never done something like that,
Mhm.
particularly with my dad, but I just felt like at any moment, all of this that I had built was going to fail because of the financial commitment. The sales weren't at a point where they could support all that I was committed to. I had an
Mhm.
employee. I was newly married. Uh, I all of these things I was juggling, and it felt
Mhm.
overwhelming. But my dad is a very wise man, and he just encouraged me that it's this is not this is not the end. This is actually just the beginning. And he
Wow.
encouraged me in the area of the fact that my wife is going to play a big role in helping to stabilize things because at that time I was struggling with on being on time with shipments. My pricing wasn't right. There were just a lot of issues that weren't in the right place at that time, and it led to all of that stress. But yeah, indeed, my wife came along and we became collaborators. And I'm incredibly grateful for her because she's also business minded. She's an entrepreneur, she's creative, and she's very wise. So together, we navigated all of these different points that were causing me stress in the business. And over time, it all started to smooth out and even out. And now, today, we see this property as an incredible blessing. There's so much
Mhm.
potential here. It's a beautiful 1 acre plus property in the mountains, very scenic, and we have ideas for what all we want to do on this property, and
Mhm.
ultimately, what we desire is for Crafted Glory to be a legacy brand, a brand that will be around for decades and decades to come, that will pass down to our children and their children, and it will be a blessing to the community. So,
Mhm.
um, basically, today we're thinking bigger. Before, my vision was so narrow. I was just
No.
thinking about, uh, tomorrow. Are we gonna make it tomorrow? But now we're
Mhm.
looking generationally, and that's the way that I feel
Mhm.
we need to see things.
Yeah. What year was that? Like, quite sure. Like,
That
yeah.
was 2020, end of 22 or beginning of 23.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
good.
not
Yeah.
long ago, but
Mhm.
it feels like a very
Yeah.
long time ago because so much has happened over these past few years.
Mhm. 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 Yeah. That's that's a perfect story. And like, how about operational challenges like client, relationship? Like, as a
Mm,
small business owner, you have to deal with like financials,
uh-huh.
operations, like customer relationship, customer satisfaction. And how do you manage it? Like, and also you need to do your art, right? You need to
Yes.
make, your furniture at the same time, and you need to meet the deadlines,
Mhm.
because other customers are waiting. So, how do you manage it? Like, could you tell us about your day-to-day activities, or how do you delegate your, tasks, with your employees, or, with someone else maybe?
Yeah. Okay, this is a really great question, and I'm glad to answer it because, I'm in a unique position. I actually still have my corporate job, full-time corporate job that I work. I work
Mhm.
second shift, which means I go in at around 3 PM and I get off at 2 AM in the morning. That is a crazy
Mm,
shift, and
mhm.
I still am working on my business during the day. Like right now, I'm talking to you. This is my shift for my business. And then shortly after we're done, I go into my corporate job. And so that has
Mhm.
made for some challenges operationally with how to run my business well while doing that. Ultimately, my desire and my aim is to move on from my corporate job and be fully in crafted glory. But it's not
Mhm.
an instant transition. As you know, as many know, it takes a lot of it takes a lot to run a business that also supports an individual and a family. Those
Mhm.
revenue numbers are not all going into my bank account. Some of that is for operations, some of that is for taxes, etc., paying my employee, and then some of that goes into caring for me and my family. So this means that I have to be really efficient with my time. So the time that I am here in the studio, I am trying to do the activities that give me the best bang for my buck, so to speak. I have been strongly encouraged over the years by many people, especially my older brother, to really invest in a team. He kept telling me
Mhm.
over and over, you got to have a team, got to have a team. Finally, it really clicked for me. And about 3.5 years ago, I brought on our employee. His name's Daniel. And
Mhm.
he has become the greatest asset of this business. I'm looking at a piece that he finished making yesterday, and I'm just blown away. I didn't touch that piece. He made it from start to finish. And that has been a desire of mine from, the beginning, is that I would have team members who are able to do everything on
Mhm.
pieces without me touching it, so that we can build a business that is such that we can bring people on, give them, drawings, give them the information for the pieces, and they're able to execute. So then I can focus on the activities that I want to do. And we're gradually moving in that direction. And that's the key
Mhm.
to help to free me up to have a business that doesn't require me to be hands-on with everything. Um,
Mhm.
Today, I actually have 2 interns who are working in my studio. They are actually doing the sanding on this table today, and they're doing an excellent job. What I've learned
Mhm.
is that I don't have to be hands-on with everything for the work to be excellent. If I have the right people, if they get trained well, and they get the information they need, then we can produce excellent work that doesn't require me
Mhm.
to do everything. Whereas before, I was doing everything.
Yeah.
So, um, having to work another job, a corporate job, has forced me to do these activities that are actually making the business stronger. So it's for operations, it's investing in our team.
Mhm.
As far as client relationships, that has been a challenge for me through the years, in the sense that I would run into situations where clients would be demanding, or would be their expectations would be sometimes unrealistic, and I would allow myself to get, this is a strong word, but bullied in a sense. It's not, I don't know, they may not have intended to bully me, but
Mhm.
they were really pushy with their demands, and I was
Mhm.
letting it get to me. But I had a lunch meeting with, a furniture maker in this area that I highly respect. He's doing incredibly high-end work, and he told me something. He said at a certain point, he was struggling with checking in some of his oak, furniture. Checking is when
Mhm.
cracks occur. Oak is very prone to this, flat sawn oak. If it's not dried properly, or if it's going into a new climate, you can sometimes have checking happening. So he had made all these pieces for a very high-end client, and his furniture started to check. He flew out there, and ultimately, well, before flying out there, he looked at what had happened, and he said, "You know what? I like those checks. Those are beautiful. It's art." And
Wow.
what he was what in the end, he did go out there and make some repairs, but what he was explaining to me was that, "You're the artist. You're the maker. You have put your blood, sweat, and tears into making this work, and you've done it with a
Mhm.
genuine heart to make something for the client that will last for a long time." And to an extent, you need to stand your ground, you need to draw a line. Of course, you need to take care of the client as best you can, but at the same time, own your work, own that you are the artist, and don't let people push you around. So it's a balance, and I've
Mhm.
really appreciated that advice because it's helped me. Because I typically would go I'll bend over backwards at times when I didn't need to. Maybe there was a complaint about something that wasn't really an issue, and I would spend money and end up not making a profit for something that they ultimately didn't really care that much about, but they're just being a customer. Customers sometimes are just that way. Now, not all of
Mhm.
my clients are like that, but I've learned to make boundaries, let them know, help them to understand that I'm the artist and they should trust my judgment. And when you push back, when you have your boundaries, they tend to respect you more. And I've learned that, and it's been very helpful for my business.
Mhm. Have you ever read the book Boundaries?
No, no. Who's that
No,
by?
you should read. You should read.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That's a perfect book, you know. And but you got the idea, but still you can read it, and and you will find uh, so many things related to your personal business life, how to draw lines, between customers or, loved ones. Oh, my question is like, it's hard to motivate new generations, like, and you have interns in your team, are trying to, train and educate them about the business and also, how to's. Maybe you have some checklists, SOPs, or they just watch and learn. But how do you motivate them? Like, um,
Mhm.
are you offering like better hourly rates or like some
Mm.
incentives or like, how do you motivate them?
Oh, great question. I am incredibly blessed and grateful because these guys are self-motivated. I couldn't have
Mhm.
found a better team, and I call them my team, even though, uh, 2 of them are interns and they're not here all the time, and, my employee is a part-time employee currently. They're my team,
Mhm.
and they're the ones who are helping to make this work happen. Yesterday, we were working on a piece, and there's some tasks that needed to be done that were very tedious and tasks that I didn't wanna do, and furthermore, they were expensive for me to do because my time is very valuable as the business owner. I should be using my time to move the business forward, and I can't be doing this very small task. So I told one of the interns, "Hey, this needs to be done," and he said, "Challenges accepted." He was really excited to do it. Yeah, and he jumped at the opportunity, he did it with all his heart, and he did it with excellence. He did it better than I could have done it, and that was a great lesson for me that everybody is motivated by different things. A task that I don't enjoy, someone else would love to do it and would do it with all of their excitement and all of their heart. So I am leaning into that um, more and more, and
Mhm.
I I want to find more people like the team I have. I want to I want to never have a team member who is a bad fit. I know that may happen, but anything I can do to make sure they're a good fit is great. So these guys, they're motivated, they're interested in the work, and, they're excited about the pay that I give, which it's not the most in the
Mhm.
industry, but for where they are in life, they are incredibly happy for it. The alternative was that they're going to work at Chick-fil-A for, I think, $15 an hour, and I'm paying a little bit more than that, and they're excited about it. So it's all
Mhm.
about understanding where the person's coming from, um, what motivates them at this time in life, and meeting them right where they are.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Wow. And like, just a little bit talk about, the hottest design trends, clients are asking for now.
Hmm. Yes. So for a period of time, everybody was asking me for this really simple looking coffee
Mhm.
table design and other pieces that were in that same genre. Basically, it's a square with a square base. We call it the
Mhm.
pedestal based coffee table. Everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted it in oak, and everybody in California wanted it in oak. So we were making these. They're heavy, shipping them all the way across the country. But today we are moving more and more into the higher end, and these
Mhm.
higher end clients want very unique pieces that they can't find anywhere else. And that's exactly where we want to be. These pieces are sculptural, these pieces are connected to our cultural heritage,
Mhm.
and these clients are willing to pay um, what really truly what they're worth, and it makes it
Yeah.
worth our time. And we're grateful for that direction that the business is going in.
Mhm. Yeah. And selling to reach is easier than,
Mhm.
selling to
That's
other
right.
people's, like, yeah, easy to manage,
Mhm.
you can set date. expectations right, and also, you can put, really good profit to protect your business,
Yeah.
from some risks. And
Yes, and then it allows
yeah.
me to do more good through my
Mhm.
business.
Correct. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. And like, um, co- I was gonna ask, like, you ship in all 50 states, right?
Including
So,
Alaska and Hawaii.
including Alaska and Hawaii. So,
Yeah.
for designers, like, from those states, like, what makes you different than others, Kwadwo? Like, we have tons of designers in our listeners, and like, why they should work with you instead of maybe someone from their local network, you know. So what makes you different than other custom furniture makers?
What makes me different and my team different is that we bring in our cultural heritage. So,
Mhm,
my family's from Ghana, and
mhm,
Ghana has a rich heritage of carving, wood carving,
mhm,
and organic shapes, warmth. Our furniture exudes that. At the same time,
mhm,
I'm strongly inspired by Scandinavian design. So there's the
mhm,
simplicity, there's the some elements of straight lines, and it's an interesting fusion that we have accomplished in our designs. Um, Again, our work stands out, and it is unlike anything that you'll find elsewhere. So
mhm,
designers will come to us because of that. They want work that they can't find elsewhere. That's what their clients want. They want their spaces to be unique so that when people come in, they are stunned by all that they see. And that's why designers come to us from all of these different states. We have a piece
mhm,
that we're making for a client in Hawaii, actually. So we will
mhm,
be shipping that coffee table off to that client, and we've done work for clients in Alaska as well. And again, this
mhm.
piece behind me is going to Idaho, which is way out, in the
Yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And you combine and put together warm Ghana and, cold
mhm,
Scandinavian design,
mhm.
together, and it makes you a unique, custom furniture maker, I guess. Yeah, that's and you allow simplicity, and it is the hardest, right? When it comes to designing a
Yes,
piece, like, simple looks like, easy, but it's not, making the things,
that's right.
especially for the connections, maybe. Um, yeah. So could you tell us about, more how you achieve in simplicity, and how does it help to your business operations? Because if you allow simple, making it simple in your creative side, most probably it's going to affect your business owner mindset, right?
That's right. Yes. So simplicity comes into play with me in the sense that I really channel my how I'm feeling, how the inspiration is flowing as I'm designing
Mhm,
my pieces. There's one design, it's called the Ati end table. Ati means tree in my wife's
mhm,
language in Ghana. And so this is one of our most popular designs. When you look at it, it's very intriguing. It has this really flowy shape and sculptural, and every angle you look at it, there are curves and no straight lines anywhere, and it's all interesting and nice contours. It looks
mhm,
complicated, but it's simple in the sense that it just feels natural. Achieving it initially was not easy, but we do incorporate CNC work into our workflow. So an
mhm,
element of the making this table involves the CNC, but then after that, there is hand sculpting with or hand power tools that are used to finish the sculpting of the table. So the simplicity comes in it just being an outpouring of what I'm feeling, really leaning into the organic, really owning that that is a perspective worth sharing with the world. This organic, flowing, um, natural look is worth sharing with people, and we own that, and people appreciate that.
Wow. And what is next for Crafted Glory?
Next for Crafted Glory is doing more of this sculptural work. We are really feeling it and leaning into that. Also, we are. I love technology. I'm a mechanical engineer by education, and I want to
Mhm.
incorporate more technology into our business. At the same time, uh, staying true to the historical aspect of furniture making, the hand tools, the joinery, and all these things, and bringing those together. So we're going to be doing more modeling in 3D software, and bringing that over into the CNC work that we're doing, the automation in certain aspects, but then still incorporating the hand tool work, the hand carving. It's a nice marriage of the two, and I
Mhm.
believe that honors the traditional nature of furniture making while also speaking to the need for technology to meet the needs of our clients in the world that we live in. um, I think it's a necessary balance of the 2. So that's what's next. You'll see more technology coming out of Crafted Glory, um, and just more interesting pieces that speak to our cultural heritage.
Oh, that's so exciting, man. And
Mhm.
like, can you share your contact information for our listeners so they can reach out to you for possible partnership, or like, if they're a new starter, maybe you can mentor them,
Mhm.
so how they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. So people can connect with us on, Instagram. It's at
Mhm.
Crafted Glory. And also our website is craftedglory.com. And those are really the best ways to connect. And I
Mhm.
am open to collaborations. I'm open to giving advice, sharing my story.
Mhm.
I'm an open book. So I'm excited
Wow.
to connect with people.
Yeah. And I just want to, talk about our new book, Furniture Marketing.
Mhm.
And Kwadwo, you will get a free signed copy. And also, guys, like,
Awesome.
I'll be giving away for people in furniture industry. So it's a free book. I'll also cover the shipping, and you will pay nothing. And it's a great offer, like, and you can read and learn so many things about furniture marketing, you know. And it is the only available source, I guess, for someone in furniture industry, like, and it has the latest, updates in the industry and marketing.
Oh,
So
I can't
yeah.
wait to get my copy. Thank you so much, Ahmet.
Yeah, thank you, Courageous, for participating in Furniture Success Podcast.
Yes, it was my pleasure and such an honor to be on it. Thank you for the opportunity. I look forward to staying in touch with you and connecting with your audience as well.
Right. Thank you, Courageous. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.